Hello friends, welcome to Shubrata Education Channel. In the last class I had explained you the concept of encapsulation. Today I am going to explain a new topic, that is polymorphism. It is one of the four pillars of object-oriented programming. Now polymorphism is derived from two words, that is poly and morphism. Poly means many and morphism means forms or behavior. Did you see a chameleon? A chameleon changes its color as per the requirement in order to safeguard from the enemy. So this is only possible due to the polymorphism feature. The word polymorphism is also used in chemistry. In chemistry, this is used to describe that a chemical compound can take a variety of crystalline forms due to the polymorphism feature. In object-oriented programming also polymorphism is used. Due to this polymorphism feature, the object can take multiple forms. This I will explain it to you in details. Let me give you some real-world examples of polymorphism. Let us take an example of shape. In object-oriented programming, we define a base class shape by the methods area and perimeter. The shape has subclasses circle, rectangle, triangle, etc. Each subclass can have its own method, that is area and perimeter, and each method will accept different parameters. For example, rectangles will accept length and width, circles will accept the radius. Let me give you another real-world example of polymorphism. Let us have a class animal. The class has a method sound. Let us take subclasses of animal class, that is dog, cat and lion. The dog barks, the cat mews and the lion roars. So we find that the subclasses inherits the animal class property. Hence, we find that polymorphism is a capability of a method to do different things based on the object it is acting upon. Polymorphism occurs when we have many classes that are related to each other by inheritance. There are two types of polymorphism, compile time and runtime. Compile time polymorphism is referred as static polymorphism and runtime polymorphism is known as dynamic polymorphism. The polymorphism which is resolved during compile time is known as static polymorphism and it is resolved by method overloading or operator overloading. It is handled by compiler. Java does not support operator overloading. The conditions of method overloading are create multiple methods with same name, two methods should be within same class, and the arguments of methods should be different. The arguments have three conditions of which one should be satisfied. The condition of arguments are number of arguments, sequence of arguments and types of arguments. The first two conditions of method overloading are multiple methods have the same name and they should be within the same class. Here square is a class and the two methods in the square class are displayed, they have the same name. The first display will display area of the square is length into breadth and the second one will display perimeter is 4 into length. Now we create the main class, then we create the object in the main class. Then we will call the display method with reference variable t. As both the methods that is display in the class square have the same number of arguments, that is no argument. Hence, it is not following the third condition, that is argument of method should be different. So the compiler will be confused to call which method. This error is known as ambiguity error. In order to achieve the method overloading and to remove the errors, we must follow the third condition, that is, arguments of method should be different. So if we change the number of arguments in one method, then this will be the result and the ambiguity will be removed. In the first case, the display method does not have any argument, and in the second case, the display method has an integer argument. As the main method does not have any argument, so the first method will be displayed. Let us see. If in the main method the parameter is included, then the second display method with parameter will be displayed. So in this way, ambiguity error is removed. The sequence of arguments can be made in the following way. If the main method does not follow the sequence, then it cannot call any method from the other class. So in order to call the method, then it has to follow the sequence. In order to show the type of argument, we can make the data type different. To utilize the third condition, we write this type of program. So this way we can do the method overloading by satisfying the three conditions and satisfying any one of the number of arguments method. So this way we achieve the compile time polymorphism. The other name of runtime polymorphism is dynamic polymorphism. It is a method or the process in which a call to an overridden method is resolved at runtime. It is handled by JVM. It is achieved by method overriding. In order to do method overriding, the conditions are: create multiple methods with same name. Methods must be in different class. The arguments of different methods must be same. The condition of arguments are number of arguments, sequence of arguments, and type of arguments. With this, there must be also an inheritance concept to achieve the method overriding. Let me explain you the concept of method overriding with the program. First, I create a class shapes and then I create a method named display within it. The method prints all shapes have dimensions. As per overriding concept, two or more methods have to be created with same name but different class. Hence, I create another class rectangle. Then I create a method named display which prints area of the rectangle is length into breadth. As per overriding principle, that is the third condition, the method should have same number of arguments, and here the number of argument is same as both are 0. In method overriding, one of the conditions of methods is to have the same type of arguments. Another optional condition is the sequence of arguments. The last but not the least condition of method overriding is inheritance. Is a relationship exists in method overriding. Thus, in order to achieve method overriding, the two or more methods must have the same name, they must be in different classes, they must have same arguments. Arguments refer to number of arguments, types of arguments, sequence of arguments, and one class must inherit the properties of another class. Then only method overriding is possible.